biometrics, so on and so forth. So authentication is, hey, let me prove that I am who I say I am. And authorization is just literally, okay, this guy says who he says he was. He has access to folders 1, 2, 3. This girl is who she says she was, so she has access to folders X, Y, Z. Now, if at any point in this process, these things get messed up, these things get confused, instead of the CEO having access to stuff, the janitor may have access to everything that the CEO is supposed to have access to. Makes sense? So you got to make sure that you have the authentication and the availability together, right? Mesh together and have them as secure as possible and as fluid as possible with zero mistakes, just to make sure that people that are supposed to have access to stuff have access to it. People that don't have access to stuff don't have access to it. Another super important thing when it comes to cybersecurity, the Security Plus exam, doing stuff in the real world, is resiliency. You have to be resilient. So resiliency pretty much means that when your network users, devices come up with an error or issues, it doesn't break the entire system. It doesn't break the entire experience, right? The resiliency usually comes from redundancy, right? So meaning that you have several different things that are the same thing. So let's say we got a server. This server is for email. That is your email exchange server. Everybody want to send an email, do whatever they want to do, goes through this server. That server goes down. Damn, can't nobody send an email. Now, if you had a resilient server, you would have redundancy, meaning that we got this server, then we got a backup, then we got a backup to that backup. So no matter what happens, we can always be up. Another thing is you need to do that with data, because no matter if it's a blackout, a natural disaster, a fire, whatever happens, you need to have your information backed up so you're not completely wiped out. You have your data, files, customer reports, whatever it is, you have that stuff backed up. So if your main site goes down, if your main place of business go down, if your main operation center go down, you can have that information, that data, all that stuff backed up. So you can go to somewhere else and boom, and go and be right back up. But cybersecurity, a lot of times, is in the resiliency. If you don't have a resiliency piece, that redundancy piece, that fail backup plan piece, it will be the end of your organization. Because believe it or not, when it comes to websites, network, access to different things, most people expect stuff to be up 99.999% of the time. For example, let's say you went to Google and Google had an error page. You would freak out, like, what the hell is going on? Most reputable sites, including itmetricy.com, if you go to it, it's going to be there, no matter what time it is, no matter where you are in the world. Now, a lot of times when we talk about cybersecurity, people want to get into the super duper complex stuff, but a lot of times you need to also focus on physical controls, the stuff you can physically control. So not only firewalls, virus protection, so on and so forth, we need to make sure we got some locks on the damn doors. We got to make sure we got some cameras, maybe have some Doberman pinchers walking around. You just got to make sure that things are secure physically, whether it's a man trap, a turnstile, a actual security guard that has a roster signing stuff off. Just remember, I know we've been talking for a while and we still ain't nowhere near done, but you have to really think about all of these things, because like I said, on the exam it's going to be important, and real life is going to be important as well, because it's literally cost millions of dollars. So always think about the physical controls, even simple as the lighting in the parking lot. Let's say that somebody break into the organization that you work for, right? And it's dark as hell outside. They broke into the server room, whatever, disabled all the cameras inside of the building, but the cameras on the outside of the building were working. But you couldn't see anything because all the damn lights in the parking lot was off, right? Or they were too dim. So make sure that when we're talking about security, don't forget about the physical security.